Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, and this is my review of John Wick Chapter 4. And damn, this is a good one. For those of you who are concerned about the runtime, don't. This movie flies by. It is the quickest almost 3 hours I have spent in a theater in a while. As I said, this was the first movie that I've seen on IMAX since Top Gun Maverick, and it looks fantastic. Well shot, well edited, everything that we've come to expect from the people behind John Wick. Everybody acting-wise is right on in this. Donnie Yen steals the movie. If he is not at least considered for a supporting actor nomination for this, then there's no hope. All right, now some of you might be wondering about the length. Like I said, it's pretty fast-paced. You know, it's probably the most fast-paced 3-hour movie I've ever seen. It kind of picks up where the previous movie left off, and then ups the ante even farther. He doesn't. You know, everyone is after John Wick in this movie, or are they? And it's kind of not just who's after John, but there are other characters that, you know, are now under threat at this point, and everybody kind of has to choose a side. Are you with the high table, or are you going to defend your friend? And there's a lot of that in this movie. And the first hour of the movie takes place in Japan, namely Osaka. And that's where the movie, I think, really kind of has to have the length of time that it takes. Because there's again, without giving too much away, this is going to be a non-spoiler review. There is a very lengthy action sequence that takes place in Japan that is probably one of the best I have ever seen put to film. It's that good. You know, and it's almost a movie in itself. We have this new villain who's on the high table, who's played by Bill Skarsgård. And he kind of pulls rank, does something very drastic and unexpected, and no one is safe in this movie. OG characters go down in this movie. I'm gonna tell you that much right now. Nobody is safe. Nobody is off the board. So it kind of does become this sort of every man for himself in a weird sort of way. You know, it is very much a war between the high table and everyone who's under it. And people have to choose sides. And so it's interesting where that goes. You know, who's for the table, who's not for the table, who's in it to defend a friend, who's in it for honor, who's in it for the money, who's in it to protect their dog. This is kind of a little bit of everything in this movie. It's very well done. This is one of the best movies of the year. I don't know if I'm prepared to say that it's going to be my number one yet. I have to think about it, but man, it's up there. This movie, from start to finish, it starts, it goes from 0 to 1,000 pretty quickly, and it doesn't let up, but in a good way. Again, I don't want to give too much away of the movie, but we go into John's backstory quite a bit in this movie in a way that the other films haven't really touched on. There are references to the original movie. There are lines that were like throwaway dialogue in previous films that come back and have meaning and have weight in this one. It ups the ante on the lore, the world building, which is fantastic in this series. It's still, we all know the original movie was maybe this kind of grounded revenge story. And then it kind of goes in the later films to the comic book realm. And this one very much does go into the comic book realm in a good way. That's not a strike against it. It's a strike for it. This one is, I'm not prepared to say yet that it's the best one. I might have to give it another look, but damn, if it's not, it's close. They swung for the fences in this movie with everything. Everything is heightened action, heightened emotion. We go to locations that we have not been in this series. It's quite the rabbit hole our Mr. Wick has fallen down, and he's taken some of his friends down into that rabbit hole with him. And they all get their moment in the sun. They really do. This one is really good. It is, guys. If you've loved the John Wick movies up to this point, you're going to fucking love this. This is top shelf action filmmaking at its finest. It really is. The story's good. It's labyrinthian without being confusing. It lets you know the character motivations all make sense and track throughout the movie. And one thing that I will warn everybody about is stay until the end. Stay through all of the credits, because there is a cutscene at the very end that's going to kind of leave some things open for interpretation. There is if this is the final John Wick film, I don't think it's going to be. I think there's going to be at least one more. They could end it with this movie. and it would go out on top. But if there is one more, and I think there's going to be at least one more, it leaves it just enough of a door open to do another one if they wanted to. But if they stopped it here, this is a franchise that goes out on top. It really is. This is a 2 thumbs up, way up movie. Worth buying on 4K rating. I'm going to give it that. It's up there. And it's going to be close because there are a couple of other really good movies this year, but this may very well be my number one movie for the year right now. And so go out there, support it. It's entertaining. If you enjoyed the other movies, you're going to love this. And everything that was good about the films is heightened here. They turn it up to 11. John's in quite a pickle, and how he gets himself out of it is, or maybe doesn't get himself out of it. No spoilers. It's this globe-trotting action movie. They go back out into the desert again. They go back to New York. We go to Berlin. We get to see John's or is it Giordani? his kind of Romani background gets explored in this. I kind of wish they'd gone into it a little bit more, but to be honest, there are a few things I wish they had kind of gone into a little bit more, but it's already a 2 hour and 49-minute movie, and it doesn't waste a minute. I'm going to be honest with you. If this movie were another 20 minutes longer, I don't think I would have minded. You see, because that's the thing. The problem is not the length of a film. A movie is as long or as short as it needs to be. Roger Ebert was quoted once as saying that no bad movie is too short, and no bad movie is short enough, and no good movie is long enough, or something like that. I'm getting that backwards, but you get the point, and this is one of those movies where it earns the length that it is, and it could have been longer, and I would have been fine with it because it's a good movie and it's got a lot to tell you. It's like reading a good book. This is the movie that really proves why they're referring to this movie as chapters, because it is like reading a book. This is modern day action filmmaking at its finest. Go see it. I know everybody's probably going to say this movie has the potential to be in the $1 billion club, and I think it's going to make it. This is a movie that deserves Oscar nominations at the end of the year. Go see it. Yeah, I cannot sing its praises enough. It is an old-fashioned, globe-trotting action movie. The choreography is outstanding. Every character is treated like the movie is going to be about them, which I like, especially when you're dealing with an ensemble like this. You go into the background of the characters. You get a deep dive into what high table life is like. This movie is fantastic, man. And there's something in it for everyone. So, okay. I'm going to go ahead and call it. This movie is a thumbs way up. Go see John Wick 4, man. This is a good one. I believe the Midnight Sedge is going to have mead tonight. I believe that's going to be at the top of the hour. And I want to single out Netter's Network. Her new show is going into episode number 2 tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard. It's called Thursday Things. And I'm going to be there in the chat. So have fun and join us there. All right. So take care. Stay strong. This is how we win. Go see John Wick 4. This is Deleted Scenes, signing off.